go there. That is going to be our final showcasing of features for this week. Tomorrow is going to be a holiday, and of course we bid everyone a wonderful long weekend. But before we get into that long weekend, there's some things we wanted to share with you. But first, let's see what the news desk has, and when we come back, our amazing features.
Good morning. Time now for the news with me, Timothy Polio. Autopsy results pertaining to the shocking death of a teenager indicate that it was due to natural causes, but some of her relatives are expressing doubt. The former secondary school female student, who was a resident of Beausejour-Gros-Islet, reportedly died as a result of natural causes. However, some family members are convinced that foul play was involved. Her mother and grandfather are pressing for answers from the police.
So far they told me it does not look as though she was murdered or anything like that. But then they didn't get all the test results back and they said it was just natural causes. That's what they say. All right, due to blood clots in the lungs. Now, this explanation just didn't make any sense to me because she was very healthy and sprouting, just ready to take on the world. And I don't think that explanation made any sense.
Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre has unveiled his administration's budget for the upcoming financial year 2024-2025, totaling over $1.86 billion. In his presentation on the estimates of revenue and expenditure on Tuesday evening, the Prime Minister, who is also responsible for finance, highlighted that the nation's economy is on a positive trajectory. He revealed that the government's primary account boasted a surplus of $104 million for the fiscal year 2023-2024.
42 million more than last year and 62 million more than the approved estimates. Current account surpluses of 156 million or 47 million over 2023 and recurrent account surpluses of 46 million or 49 million over 2023. Overall, Mr. Speaker, the primary balance is 1.5% of GDP as compared to 1% last year. The analysis shows that the results of this fiscal year were better than last year, illustrating an improvement in the performance of the St. Lucian economy.
However, Prime Minister Pierre clarifies that this surplus should not be perceived as extra cash for the government, but rather an indication of his administration's effectiveness at managing the country's debt.
I hope this explanation has debunked the idea by some who may wish to mislead the public that government has generated more cash than it needs. Mr. Speaker, notwithstanding these current account surpluses, the government will experience an overall deficit in 2023-2024 of 111 million or 65 million less than last year, indicating a lowering of the deficit gap. Mr. Speaker, I look forward to the day when our revenue and grants will be sufficient to cover both current and capital expenditure, leaving us with an overall surplus. If this country is kept in the hands of responsible men and women to administer, as is the case now, it may one day get there.
Based on the data, the Prime Minister asserts that St. Lucia's performance has surpassed that of the previous 2 years, indicating a return to pre-COVID financial levels. And that's the broadcast. Thank you so much for watching. Join us at noon for our next News Major, the Lunchtime Report. I'm Timothy Polio. Good morning.
All right, our first feature. Did you know that yesterday marked World Theatre Day? And we have a very thriving theatre department here on our island. Here's Cantilia Louis. Well, World Theatre Day is upcoming, and who best to have a sit down with when you want to talk about theatre in St. Lucia? Cantilia Louis, we are honored to have you. What's happening? How you been?
I'm very happy to be here.
You look amazing, by the way.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
It's World Theatre Day, so representing my people, yes.
Absolutely.
World Theatre Day has been celebrated since 1962. Yes, every year, you know, there's a message put out, and we encourage persons to get involved, find out what's going on in theatre. And for this year, the message is about the culture of peace and respecting individuality, you know, and
Wow.
with everything going on in the world right now, we have to
Right.
remember that we all bring something and to accept each other.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. Peace seems to be the word
Yes.
around this day. It's
Yes,
water
yeah.
for peace. We just celebrated
Yes,
World
yeah.
Water Day. It was water for peace. Recently, we just had a sit down with also the Alias Francis. They'll be having a walk for peace as well. So peace seems to be the word. So quite fitting theme.
Peace, and I think we have to look at what peace means to us. So
Yes.
here we may not have the wars other places have, but we all know about that inner struggle, you know, for inner peace. And sometimes we have to look within ourselves or within the lives of other persons to be able to find ourselves and find our peace. And theatre does that.
Let's
Theatre
talk.
helps you to look
Exactly.
within yourself.
Theatre
you know?
is such an expression, such an
Yes.
expressive form that there's no right or wrong way. There's no,
Right.
you know, anything anybody can interpret and have that liberty of being able to express in whatever way. So
whatever,
quite
yes.
quite an attractive place, I should say, to see how it is that person can actually interpret what peace means to them.
Yes.
And relay it back.
And relayed back, you know. And again, what theatre does is makes us remember that we're not alone in our journey. Because when you sit and you feel the emotions that the actors and everyone has put together, you realize, you know what, I may be going through a bad time, but look, I'm looking at the lives of persons going through maybe something similar. And in that I'll find an answer, or at least I'll find you know, some kind of connection,
Right.
you know.
In our parts, how do you see us making use of this theme and this day?
I think for us, one of the things that we encourage, and I encourage, is that you don't have to, people think they need to understand theatre. It's a human experience, it's a slice of life, and theatre can happen anywhere.
Okay.
We have seen that, I mean, everybody right now, you know, perform on their
Yes,
TikToks,
on
and
the
so it can
TikToks,
happen
that's
anywhere.
right.
So we've all acted. We all play roles. So we are all part of this. So why not, maybe one, take a class. Two, you and we improv all the time. Or better yet, come and join a theatre group. Come and see a play. Discuss how you felt about it with the actors, the director, and so on. We're always happy to get feedback because we understand what we are supposed to do in life is really and truly reflect you back to you.
Right. Now let's talk in general terms now, in our parts, in
Yes.
St. Lucia Theatre. You know we've got to go there at some point
Yes.
because there are persons within the field, and is it something that is getting the attention needed? Should there be more being done? Where are we at? with
More
that?
of everything. One thing I have to say is that I'm not worried about persons getting involved in theatre because there's so many young persons in the productions that are coming up in the month. So many young persons involved in it. But spaces, oh my God, the expense. We don't have designated spaces for rehearsals as well as for performances. I mean, just the lights, the sound, and everything else. Because you want to give everybody a proper experience. I think we need to put some money into that because when we look at other countries like the UK, we always say about, oh, you know, this company, that company, but they were supported by the people. And that's why they have that long legacy. And so we need that support as well because we are the ones telling the stories about our people, right? So support.
A better supported industry here. What
Yes.
can what can that mean for our people?
I think we need grants just to put on productions, to write, to do research, to train, you know, if we can have that. And every business can pledge, if they pledge $500 a month, just to a fund to help with that. I mean, what it will do, we talk about right now all the violence. You know how we bring peace to some of those places? Give them something to do. And I can personally say I've seen persons change their lives because of theatre. So, but we need to, of course, be able to pay all our bills. And as I said, spaces, a lot of places, buildings or workplace or, you know, offices have an empty space.
Right.
Or it's empty after work. Can we use them maybe to run a rehearsal? Why not? You know, so that we don't have to be struggling. So it's not always about, as I said, the money, space. is a major thing. Support is a major thing. So
On this day, what would you like to leave? What's the take home?
take home is that theater is the soul of the society. We are the ones who show us where we are, remind us of our journey, help us to find ourselves. And if you don't take care of that, we lose ourselves. So let's not lose ourselves.
Wonderful. Kentillia, thank you so much.
Thank you so
happy
much for
World
having me.
Theatre Day.
Thank you.
That's around.
Well, the long weekend is the Easter weekend, and I don't know about you, but where I'm from, we fly kites. We fly a lot of kites in Grenada, and it was so refreshing to learn that JJ from Excess here is actually put on a workshop teaching young children how to make kite, and there's actually going to be a kite flying event coming up on Easter Monday. Well, I'm in flats today, so I have to tiptoe to JJ. You know, I mean, this gentleman is no stranger to us within the cultural realm. JJ Excess Carnival Band. Wow, but we're here in a different capacity because it's Easter and you're keeping the kite flying going. JJ, I am so happy that, you know, I can actually tap into somebody who has got this going on, because I've been complaining for quite some time here and there. And I say, where the kite flying now? Because that's a big thing in Grenada.
Yes, it is.
Yes, so JJ, come now, break it all down to me.
Actually, we started this a long time ago.
Yes?
A couple of years after it just came out the first time. Because I grew up flying kites. And what we found was that kids weren't going outdoors anymore.
Right.
You know, they're not physically active. So we felt as a band that we should create that activity. It's been going on for a long time. This is the first year.
Wow. Oh
And when
my.
we stopped, people kept coming to the venue and
Right.
flying kites. I'm like, okay, it's not going away, so we're going to continue doing this.
Okay, now JJ, this is just, well, we have the actual kite flying that's going to be happening on Easter. Is it Sunday, Monday? It's a Monday over by the landings. We can talk about that. But to facilitate that, you actually had some workshops that you put
Yes.
on to teach the actual kite making and stuff like that, the craft. So tell me about that.
Yes, this year we actually spent some time with the Goosley Primary School. Three of our experienced kiters. We did 3 Thursdays, and about 10 or so kids learned to actually make the kites, and they flew the kites. And you should have seen the excitement of these kids when they actually got it up in the air.
Oh my God.
So it's something we will continue doing. So hopefully we'll extend that to other schools next year.
Right. No, let me tell you, I gone into a whole argument with some Lucians the other day, because I say to them at my office, at the RCI office, I said, oh, you don't make kite here. Because the one time I found myself seeing around Easter time, seeing kite flying, it was those ready-made things. You know, like a fancy looking thing that if the wind blow to hard, that's falling apart. And I said, but that's not the thing, man. I said, no, sir. We even had the little thing called kokoriki. I don't know if you understand kokoriki,
Yeah, I've heard about
JJ.
it, how to do it.
Kokoriki, if you don't have the resources to make a real kite, you understand? Which is, you know, the flex and the
Right.
craft paper, and we used to use the breadfruit sap to make the glue.
Actually, in St. Lucia, when we couldn't afford to make kites,
Right.
we actually flew almond leaves.
Well, we did the same thing. What we call kokoriki is the cocoa leaf.
Exactly.
The cocoa leaf, and you use some of the banana
Yep.
thing, and you make
Oh,
the
yeah.
tail, and you know, you're good to go. You
We have
understand?
these traditions here as well.
Oh, well, that is amazing. So that's why I got excited when I heard you were
Right.
actually teaching young ones how to make the kite. But in your workshop, what are some of the things that the children learned?
Well, we actually dealt with the basic solution kite, and they use bamboo, which we have to
Right.
prepare for them,
Right.
because nowadays you can't get coconut sticks strong enough to
Strong
make kites.
enough, right.
So we use bamboo.
Okay.
So they actually made the kites themselves. We were guiding them, tied it up, covered it, put in
Right.
their compass and flew. So
Well,
the
the
kids-
compass part of it, you had to
they
get the
went
compass
through,
right.
They went through the whole thing.
Yeah, the compass is vital for the singing.
For the- and the stability of the kite in the air as well. They learned all that.
Oh my God. This must have. I'm sorry we didn't catch some of your workshop.
Unfortunately. I think CDF did some
Okay,
shooting of-
so we could probably get some
Yeah,
footage
yes,
from
yes,
them.
most
But let's talk now about your actual. So they are now going to get the opportunity to come on out.
Oh yes,
on,
they and their
on the
parents
Monday.
will be there on Monday flying their kites.
Right. So is it open to the public?
It's open to the public, and you can register as a kid, 15 and under,
Right.
and as an adult.
Right.
And the experienced guys can also come
Right.
and and have fun. They usually try to build the largest tank. We try to get the highest one up in the air. So that's what the experience came.
And the smallest guy. Now you better be giving one for the smallest
we
guy.
We used to. I'm not sure we're doing that this year.
Wonderful. So it is a competition.
It is a competition.
And persons can sign up and come show their skills and have some fun.
I'll be looking forward to getting families out there.
Right.
Come bring the kids and learn to, come and play with them.
Absolutely.
Run around, get some physical activity.
What time? What time should we be out there?
We start at 10 and we go until 5. Okay. This is all daylight.
Right. So you could come. There's going to be patronizing of food.
Yeah, definitely. There'll be ice cream and stuff like that. This is a family event.
All right, JJ, let me tell you something. You're the man. You're the man. Thanks for doing this. Thanks for doing this. Thanks for giving me a taste of back home.
I would hope to see you on Monday.
I hope to
with
be
your
there.
kite.
Well, that's another story. I didn't have time to build one. Or maybe you'll have one somewhere there for me.
You guys will have one of them.
Then I'm flying my kite.
Excellent.
Let's believe it. All right, thank you, JJ.
You're welcome.
Awesome. Now, between all of the excitement and the fun and the Easter and all of that, the going out and the liming and all of that and the beach going, we've got to remind you to stay safe. All right. So we caught up with Naima Glory, and it's just to play upon your consciousness for a bit while you go into this long Easter celebration, so you could be aware. All right. Well, you know what? We're heading into Easter, the long weekend. Easter for Caribbean people is a lot of beach going and all of that. We do a lot of the water stuff, whether it's beach or we do river lines. It entails a lot of that. I'm here with Naima Glory is a swimming coach, but is also the head of the
Rodney Heights
Aquatic Center. So I thought it was necessary for us to tap into that. We are Caribbean people now. We're surrounded by water.
Correct.
I mean, little islands, water at any given time, anything can happen in that line. I mean, when we were growing up, well, not me, I never did it. I couldn't do it. I don't know, there was a blockage. I know. But most of the young people back then, when you're growing up, they would learn to swim through the rivers and stuff like that. Transition to today, we don't see much of that. A lot of our children don't get to do much of that, go learn to swim from tender ages at the, in these sort of forms. But here we are, so we're faced with still these geographical things that we have to worry about, but yet still, you probably will be able to give me a statistic in terms of where we are at in terms of the swimming. Is enough being done to ensure that our people understand that we should all be swimmers, or at least be able to do something if we end up in the water.
Correct. But I will let you know, with Rodney Heights being coached at Rodney Heights Aquatic Center, right now there is the school program, which can be more with the help of the ministry to encourage more students from the school to come and swim. Like there are some good swimmers from the school, but even when we try to tell them to come and join it out of the school program, they will say that they would enjoy it, but they're from a single parent.
Okay.
So they cannot afford to come and learn to swim. But even some of them, we still try to assist them to the program to come and swim. Like even when we have a swim meet and we see some of them coming up, we try to put them in the swim meet and encourage them to come back, try to learn to swim, because swimming is a skill.
Right.
So with swimming, it helps you with education, because right now, if you notice, a lot of the top common entrance students are swimmers.
But maybe that's the problem now. Maybe the problem is that we banded it on to the fact that, okay, you could become a national swimmer, as opposed to the narrative that we sell being that, hey, we need to see this as a necessity because of our disposition. We are Caribbean people surrounded by water. Everybody, this should be like second nature. We should all know and learn how to swim. We should all be swimmers.
Well, correct. but some people think swimming is like for a certain class.
And that's wrong.
Elite class, but it's wrong. But we try to encourage all classes to come and swim, but some of them still think it's a elite class.
Right. So maybe that's what we do. We change the narrative. We change the conversation.
But let's see, because they're planning on building the new pool, so let's see how
this can all go well. Do you believe it should be mandatory that students learn through the school system? Should all learn to swim?
Yes, correctly. Especially with all the drownings we will be having and like you say, Easter is coming,
Right.
so you know a lot of kids will be going by the beach with their parents.
Right, you Caribbean guy, you know what we do. So Easter coming up there now. So a lot of us are going to be going back there. This is long-term thing we're talking about there. Immediately now, Easter's right there on the weekend. We're going out to the beach. A lot of us going out to the beach. From a swimming standpoint, from a coaching standpoint, from a safety standpoint, what are some of the things that you think, tips you could throw out to us heading into this Easter season, going to the beaches and stuff like that?
Well, one, learn how to swim. Two, I will say, know your limit when going out to the sea. If you're a strong swimmer, be very, very careful not to go right out, because most times the current, watch out for the current. And if you're going out, don't go alone, go out with somebody, so that it can be, so if you're in trouble, the person there will assist you. And if you're going out with the kids, supervise. Make sure you supervise them at all times, because you know most times when they go out with a ball, the ball will go out and they will try to go and get it, but most times they get in trouble, that ball, because the wind sends out the ball out. So
To be aware of that. What about our beaches? Are we equipped with lifeguards? Do you know? Are you aware?
certain beaches are.
So could that be a thing as well? When we're doing, probably look for, if especially we have kids, look for the beaches that are
Yes, that have
lifeguard equipped.
Lifeguard, correct. Because even lately with all the drownings that they try to enforce lifeguarding. Because even to when we have our swim meets, we must ensure we have a lifeguard. So
Do we have enough lifeguards on the island?
There is.
So why all our beaches
There
are not
is.
equipped today? We have certain places that they have the lifeguard, the tower, and we see nobody in it.
then again. But most times, like what I notice, most times you see the lifeguard most times when there is tourists. Even for events when they have been by
the beach.
One requirement is you must have a lifeguard. So,
One alone.
well, depending on the size.
We
yeah,
clearly
depending
need
on the
to
size.
really drive that point home, and I think we need to start all looking at this from a different standpoint. I think for too long we've been looking at it from just this artificial standpoint, and we need to understand, like I said, the very fact that we are surrounded by water as a people, we should see the need and the necessity for ensuring that we are more conscious of things of that sort.
Like even last year, before Jazz, right, I was a lifeguard for
You actually serve as a lifeguard sometime. So you'll be on the beach for the Easter? You better be.
maybe depending.
Listen, if any of my people drown, I blame you,
Oh.
Certainly. Now, thank you so much, and
problem.
happy Easter in advance.
You too,
And
thanks.
let's hope that this little bit of information here could sort of help people to stop. Yeah, you're getting set for a celebration, but stop and check for a little while so that we could check ourselves and make sure we put in those little necessities to ensure that we remain safe for the Easter season. Right, well, that is our show for today. Like I said, this is our final show for the week. You going on off to a long weekend. I bid you all the enjoyment that there is, and safety as well, and peacefulness. And we'll catch you again on Tuesday right here for another DBS This Morning.